this is the business that I'm in. And fortunately, I've been, blessed to be able to continue following up. You know, I'm not falling down, I'm falling up. You know, from Pacquiao to Robert, you know, to now with Floyd. I mean, I think this is where everybody that's in the business, whatever business that you want to be in, you want to get to the very top of that business and hopefully be able to consider, you know, being one of the best at what you do. And I think that's the fortunate thing for me, is that no matter who I work with or who I don't work with or whoever gets rid of me, the one thing that you have to, don't get complacent, always be smart, always continue to educate yourself, keep studying, learning more. And thankfully that I was able to continue to do that and one day be in front of a guy like Floyd and to be able to share that knowledge with him and catch his interest.
6 or 5, 6, 7, however many years ago, you know, when you were at the height of, you know, the Pacquiao Express, did you ever imagine that, yeah, one day I'll go give some tips to Floyd too?
No, never. Never in a million years, I don't think so. But it was funny because even after, somebody retweeted something a long time ago, they said, hey, would you ever work with Floyd if he asked you to? I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, why would I not want to work with the best? I mean, even to this day, probably out of all the years of being in the business, the biggest, you know, things that stand out for me in my career was the fight with Adrian Broner and the fight with Floyd, with Maidana against Floyd, and that happened to be with Robert. So I have nothing. I only look at the positive things that came out of there. You know, for me, being able to work with those guys, being able to work with the best fighters that I think that are in the business, because for me, I have to continue to learn and grow, and if I want to stay at the top of this game, you just have to be a student. Yeah, you have to always go in wanting to learn something more and more and more. You have to want to evolve, because you can't. If you want to stay mediocre and you want to stay inferior to the evolution of the sport, then stick to old school. You know, if you don't want to grow, you don't want. But it's like I always put, it's just so simple. If you're a parent and you have 2 schools and you have one teacher that's teaching, you know, reading, writing, arithmetic, and science and whatever, and it's just one teacher teaching that one thing in that one little schoolhouse, or you go or your choice is over here where you have 5 different teachers teaching all specific things, all separate things, all separate and individual studies, and they're professionals in all of them. Wouldn't you want to take your kid to that one, to where they're going to get knowledge from specialists from all areas? Yeah. So that later on, when they get them, they can become more productive, and they can not only be more productive, but they can also compete at the levels with other people. Well, this is how this sport is evolving. These athletes are becoming smarter. Their approach to science and nutrition and exercise is becoming different. If you want to stay back here in old school in the Stone Age, if I'm a manager, I want to take my fighter to where the guys that are progressing and they're using the latest and cutting edge in science and nutrition and exercise, because I want to take my fighter to the next level. If you don't, you're just not going to be able to compete with these guys. Even if the skill is better over here, and they're using science over here, you're still going to rise that. And I think we saw that with the Marquez and Pacquiao fight. They wanted to go back to the old school when you had Memo applying science to a fighter who was, you know, couldn't even hurt Manny at 130.
Right.
But the arrogance over here and the ego clouded themselves to exactly what science can do and how it can evolve an athlete and how it can take them to their peak performance. And ultimately, we ended up paying for it.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. It's almost like you started your career. I mean, you were with Diego, right, when you started, but you fought Floyd.
Yeah.
Then, and now I don't know how many years it's been since then, but now you're.
I'm telling you, Floyd is a very perceptive person. He watches everything, he notices everything, and it's one thing for me to say it, or for this guy to say it, and that guy to say it. You know, there's something different about every time you leave a camp that the fighters are physically or condition-wise, they don't produce the same ways once they're gone. But to hear it from Floyd, that to me is validation.
Oh, he said that too?
Yeah, he said that. He goes, dude, I've been saying it for years. He goes, I'm telling you, it's not the trainer, it's that guy. Something, these guys. He said, man, I remember, and he was admitted of it. He said, I remember back in the day when, Manny, all of a sudden, he wasn't doing, fighting 12 rounds with Barrera, fighting 12 rounds with him, and then you got there and all of a sudden he's stretching dudes out.
Right.
He says, we used to sit here and go, fuck, every punch, this dude is blasting guys out. Now he's just struggling to get through a fight. So, same thing with I've been through it with Amir and Julio and Linares and Zinchenko, all these guys that I've left, unfortunately, they didn't do so well after, so... Not going to just say it's just the physical, but maybe there's a mental edge that they also get from training with the way that we push our fighters and what we give, our whole, and I'm not just saying myself, I'm talking about Terry, Tom, she's been with me since day one with Manny. I mean, we just really, really apply, the science and we try to evolve every time that we're in a camp to take our fighters to the next level, next level, next level.
Yeah.
So when you're used to that kind of attention, that kind of vigilance, and you're in that kind of attention, and then you go back to just trying to guess your way through it. Like, well, I don't know how much you should eat, and then here, well, let's starve ourselves, and let's not drink water before, and then there's a mental collapse that happens, and it's inevitable because I think this sport is if not more 80% mental. If you mentally feel that you've done all the work and you've know that everybody around you is professionals and they've done everything that they can to prepare you, your approach when you get in that ring is going to be like that.